Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
A windy Wednesday with changes brewing as we speak. It started with the supermoon, and tonight, wow, great shots coming from viewers. James shared this one. Scott shared this one. We love that you're sending your photos and videos to weather at abc4.com. How about the sunset from Zion tonight? This coming from the Zion concierge team. They're all from southern Utah, showing off the red rock, and the sun's absolutely stunning. Springdale putting on a show. And we love it. We love our national parks. We love our skies, and they have some of the best views. Brittany caught this one from Pleasant Grove with the cloud cover that really increased as we made it into the afternoon and evening hours. Thick deck of clouds out there, now starting to pepper in a little bit of moisture into the northwest corner of the state. We do have the chance of light precipitation as this front moves through for the overnight, and then possibly a shower or two tomorrow. In southern Utah, equally as gorgeous. Mark shared this one from Cedar City. Hope the Hemsworth family's doing great. And Susan shared this one. So our Iron County shutterbugs, thanks guys. Great colors tonight with the clouds on the move. High temperatures today, we hit 70 again in Salt Lake City. 56 is our average high. Those winds, that warm wind really pushed the numbers. We were warmer in Salt Lake than Cedar City. 76 in St. George, 70s in Moab. These are not November temperatures, and we really haven't experienced those since we've started the month. So we are going to see that change as we head into our Thursday. We have those mostly cloudy skies, and then around 2 o'clock, we start to introduce the chance of some showers into tonight. Temperatures dropping steadily behind the cold front with cooler air, and that wet weather is going to focus a lot of the energy Cache Valley, the Ogden Valley. Time-lapse video coming out of Ivins where the clouds showed up, but the temperatures still hit the mid-70s. In Ivins, really nice day in southern Utah, and they're going to drop temperature-wise as well, but still going to be very pleasant. Our water vapor imagery shows the movement of that low and how our deck of clouds brings in moist air, and we see that encompass the state. Moisture potential is out there. We've been so dry with our ridge of high pressure. That changes a little bit with this light precipitation expected for our Thursday, and you can see the Wasatch Front, the Wasatch Back, the northern mountains, and the western Uintas could see some wet weather, just some isolated showers. This is not a huge wet weather maker, but it's something, and we haven't had something for a little while. We closed out the last week of October with dry conditions, and we've started the month the same way. Futurecast shows that moisture filling in. You're going to see it roll along the Wasatch Front. By 5 a.m., the front is pronounced northwest flow behind it. I think that's going to keep us a little unsettled, and while the model doesn't pick up on it, I believe we could see some isolated showers into the afternoon, lingering, especially in the higher elevations. We also know that cooler air will be felt. Not everybody will see a shower, but we will all notice those temperatures not hitting the 70s. We're actually going to drop back to average, so closer to seasonal norms for this time of year. We dry out pretty quickly, but another reinforcing shot of cold air moves in with a trailing wave. Now the model does pick up on some moisture ahead of that into Friday morning. We're going to keep an eye on it as the front passes. We could maybe see an isolated storm or two up towards Cache Valley, Ogden area by Friday afternoon. And then that will also just reinforce the cooler conditions that we are going to see as we roll into our weekend. Saturday and Sunday, though, we start to warm things back up pretty quickly with high pressure taking over. So this cold front will drop snow levels probably down to about 7,500 feet. You can see that accumulation. That additional front, the trailing wave, also will maybe result in another inch or two, but 1 to 4 inches, generally speaking, in the area here, northern mountains, western Uintas, maybe another inch or two by Saturday. Just really a dusting for our highest peaks. Not a lot of moisture. That's not the name of the game in November. That was October. Here we are with warm conditions in our southwesterly flow. That changes. The core of that low's further north, but it sends a cold front through northern Utah with a chance of some wet weather and then temperatures falling back to average. We stay in the 50s, which is where we're supposed to be. There's that reinforcing shot of cooler air, and then high pressure knocks on the door, and we say, come on in for the latter half of the weekend and into early next week with a warming trend and dry conditions, and we're going to stay that way through the midweek. So a fairly stagnant pattern following this weaker cold front. Temperatures tomorrow in the 50s, different than our 70-degree day. 60s on the eastern side of the state, a few 70s there, 73 in St. George. Looking at the next 7 days in Washington County, we see those pretty temperatures in the 70s, lots of sunshine, dry conditions. Little breezy at times, but really not bad. Wasatch Front with those numbers in the 50s for the next several days. High pressure moves in and says, hold on, we're not ready yet. We're going to go back to the 60s, and we do with a dry pattern for your weekend and into next week.
Okay.